Hey guys, that's right. D here is back with a brand new episode of Table Cheese with Anton Sixxx and myself. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow. And guess what? Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, put our hands together for the astonishing Anton Sixxx of Cheesy Controller Podcast and D. Murray of FTO Nerd Talk.
What the living hell? What the hell was that? Are you serious with this?
I had to get you on your toes, wake you up.
This is what I get, man. Dude's hosting 2 episodes in a row and give me the weakest intro ever. I see how it is. Hey guys, how's it going? This is Table Cheese. That was weak. That was weak sauce. It wasn't even mid. That was just straight up weak.
It was weak? Oh, man. I really thought I had something going there.
Not this time.
Train of thought died midway through. It's all good, though. So this week on Table Cheese, there were a few stories that came up over the last week that I wanted to talk to you about, D, and kind of get your perspective on. And it's a bunch of very me stuff, but there's also some you stuff. So it'll be interesting. And there were some things I wanted to catch up to see like where you were at with. And so I've got some stories here. The first thing I want to talk about is Monster Hunter Sunbreak. We had on the 19th, we had the live presentation where they showed Amatsu is the next Elder Dragon joining the game, and they added, I want to say it's Risen Chaotic Gore Magala. It might just be Shigaru Magala. I'm not even sure, but whatever it is super high rank, and I'm not going to be grinding on Switch to get it, and it won't be coming to PlayStation till summer, so
like you're just waiting for it to drop. Like you're just waiting for that moment for it to come in so you can just get yourself immersed into it.
Well, the thing I'm really excited for is, so my birthday's coming up Tuesday the 25th. This may or may not be out. Either tweet me happy birthday or tweet me happy belated if you hear this after the 25th or see this, Podcasts are eternal. They're everlasting.
Second that.
But my birthday is Tuesday, and Friday the 28th, Monster Hunter Sunbreak is coming to PS5. So it's coming up to version 13, and I want to say the newest version is version 16. So there will be another set of content dropping for the PlayStation version, because when Rise dropped, it dropped with all the additional content, but Sunbreak was ongoing. And my running theory for a while was they were going to wait for Sunbreak to get all of its content and then drop Sunbreak on PlayStation. So I was kind of expecting everything to happen a bit faster, because they said the showcase would be in April. And I was like, okay, so the last one was in March, and it was at the beginning of the month, and it when they did that the next week it was available. So I was expecting this would be the last title update. It would happen the showcase would happen in the first week. The second week of April we'd be getting the final update, and then the last week of April, because I definitely predicted the date like way back of April 28th for Sunbreak coming to PlayStation. And so I was expecting for all of that content to be ready to go on the 28th, but considering the showcase didn't happen until the 19th, the content didn't drop till the 20th, and then they announced that there's going to be another smaller content drop. So
on your birthday, no less though. But that closed beta drops on the 25th.
Oh, for Monster Hunter Now?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
I'm on GameScreen.com, AppTrigger.com. Like they're both saying like it drops the closed beta. How to sign up for it?
Yeah, I signed up for it day one. I don't know
on Tuesday.
Because Niantic, I remember there were people who played whatever their first game was called, that was capturing zones, whatever the original Niantic game was. And then Pokemon Go kind of put them on the map and was like a huge cultural phenomenon. And they've done this over and over and over and over with all of these different licenses. So they've done Pikmin, they've done NBA, they've done Marvel, they've done... Like, Niantic is cranking they'll take any IP you got, strap it onto their existing game, because all of their games use the same map data, the same, like, amount of players playing. It doesn't matter, essentially, which one of their games you're playing. All of that, you're technically playing them all at the same time. Except not really. Like, all of the people... So, like, if whatever the equivalent of a Pokestop is in the Harry Potter one, like, if that's active as a Pokestop in Pokemon Go, it'll also be active as whatever the equivalent is in Harry Potter, and then now it'll be whatever the equivalent is in Monster Hunter now.
I'm watching the gameplay for Monster Hunter right now, and like this is nuts. It's what was it? Amatsu? Urgent Quest?
Yeah, Amatsu was one that we've been saying since Rise originally came out that it would be a really cool one to add, because they brought back the Leviathan class of monster, because Leviathans were kind of a staple from, I want to say, Monster Hunter 3 all the way through Generations Ultimate, but they weren't in World. And then they brought them back in Rise. And so Amatsu being an Elder Dragon that is in the Leviathan class and having like the Japanese aesthetic to it, with base Rise being like very Japanese influenced.
It just caters to a lot of fans, I bet, right?
Yeah. There are two monsters that I'm sad that they never added to Rise, and they're definitely not going to do it considering there's only like one monster left to add, and it's probably going to be a variant of Malxenos. Odogaron, and by extension Ebony Odogaron, and then Tetsukabra. So both of those monsters would perfectly fit in the cast of Rise and would be awesome additions, and there's no reason why they couldn't add them, because both of their skeletons, there are other monsters in the games that share the skeletons with them. There's literally a Tetsukabra in the Gathering Hub in base Rise. It's a baby Tetsukabra that the guy who writes up the quest sits on top of it. And Tetsukabra has been getting absolutely no love. In Monster Hunter Stories 2, Tetsukabra, it had weapons and armor, but you couldn't get it as a monstie. So you couldn't ride a Tetsukabra, even though the guy in Rise is riding a Tetsukabra. And then the guy in Rise is riding a Tetsukabra, but you can't hunt one, so you can't get its weapons or armor. So... But I know they're definitely not adding Tetsukabra in this, like, final, like, swan song update. And then Odogaron, Odogaron was one of the was one of the new monsters in World, and I feel like they brought back a lot of those. And then there's the Goth Harag variant that we deserved but are never going to get. Like, there was a lot of potential with Rise for cool things to happen that just aren't going to happen now, and it's kind of sad to see. But, my hope is when TGS comes around in, like, September, we're going to get the announcement of the next mainline Monster Hunter game, and, fresh slate.
I haven't asked you to do this before. But you're going into like the deep with Monster Hunter, and it is your birthday episode essentially. So, like, for those of them who haven't played Monster Hunter, any of them, how would you describe this game to them?
So, Monster Hunter is a hunting action game. It is a third-person game with 14 distinct weapon classes. Every weapon in Monster Hunter has the depth of whatever. Just imagine a good feeling video game weapon, and just any weapon that's ever felt good in a video game, there's probably something that has similarities to that in Monster Hunter. Like the Leviathan axe in God of War, there are certain aspects of using like the switch axe with that. There's Monster Hunter had like most games have one weapon that feels really good, but Monster Hunter has 14 that feel really good, and all have super deep and complex like systems and skills. And then so essentially the loop of Monster Hunter.
Like?
What'd you say?
What are the monsters like when you fight them?
They are like, it really depends because there are like, I want to say 7 classes of monsters. So essentially like a bunch of different monsters. Like over time the series kind of built up a lot of monsters, and Generations Ultimate was kind of the last of the old world games, and it was like the greatest hits. So it had like so many different kinds of monsters. Like there were ones that were siege monsters, which are like literally you're running through like this giant environment trying to just do minor damage to it because it's so huge. And then there were like birds, there were bugs, there were a lot of skeletons that we haven't seen come back necessarily in since Generations Ultimate. But now with World and then Rise, these are both considered the new World games. And like World was the first one that I got into, but then after World I went back and played Generations Ultimate. And my thing, I guess my recommendation would be on Switch, if you can, try out the Monster Hunter Sunbreak demo. There's a demo for either Base Rise or Sunbreak that's available on Switch. And
the demo, I got to my kid about that.
Possibly on Steam. I know they've been in these places at one point in time, but I don't know if they're there anymore. So, you just asked me to describe Monster Hunter.
I'm watching gameplay too. It looks like some of the monsters are hybrids of like certain creatures on Earth. Like you get like an amphibian reptilian kind of hybrid. I'm watching this the Tetsukabra. That's what it looks like. It looks like
Tetsukabras are considered amphibians. And their weapons are really cool. Like they have a greatsword that looks like a chef's knife, and like the coloring on it and stuff I really like. So
it's really nice. Like it's really appealing to look at while you're fighting this thing. Yeah, the colors are really bright and vibrant.
Well, yeah, I'd say I want to think of some cool fights to watch. Like we don't really have time for you to see what makes Safi Jiva cool, but Safi Jiva is a really cool fight. Like that's the thing. All of these monsters, even when it's pretty much a recolor of a monster, they change up the moves and they change up the behavior enough. So even a palette swap can be a really interesting new hunting experience. So, and like I said, they brought back the Leviathan skeleton in Rise because that wasn't in World, because they just couldn't get it to work with like the topography. Like they couldn't. And if that game has as much clipping as it has, and they said it would have been a clipping problem, then it had to have been something very serious, like 90+% of the monster is clipping through the environment. It had to have been like really bad for them to have not included them in World at any point, because they did a lot with World. By the end, I mean, they brought in Alatreon and Fatalis, and I still haven't beat Fatalis in Iceborne, so
it looks like you definitely gotta earn the things you get in this game.
Oh yeah,
it takes like a lot of fighting and a lot of like using your powers and weapons the right way to gain any kind of head. It reminds me of some old school games I played in the past, and some of the newer mobile games I can see in this also.
If there were
it looks like a really fun game.
So the loop of Monster Hunter is you go somewhere, You go out, you hunt monsters, you bring back the parts from hunting those monsters, and you craft weapons and armor. And that armor can be resistant to whatever you're fighting, so you can get more materials and make their weapons, and whatever weapons you make from them have whatever elements or whatever attributes they have that could potentially be good against the next monster, and you're like just essentially working through this loop of building better weapons, better armor, like upgrading things, hunting harder monsters, and like learning the weapons. That's why I said there are 14 weapons. I'm only good at I'm proficient with one. I'm okay with another one, and then outside of that, there are probably like 3 that like I could do it, but don't put me in any end game content with it.
So that leaves 9 that you're just not good with whatsoever. That's interesting.
And I mean, some of them I'm probably good with. I just haven't really dabbled because there's hammer, there's dual blades, there's longsword, there's switch axe. All of those I can dabble with.
Like, that's what I was saying, right? Like the shield that turns into a blade. Is that what a switch axe is?
Oh no, that sounds like a charge blade to me.
Okay.
Because there's also sword and shield, and charge blade, and I want to say glaive were added later. Like further on in the series, like Monster Hunter 4. But like great sword, dual blades, long sword, all of those have been in the game. Bow, light and heavy bow gun. I want to say all of those have been in the game since the original Monster Hunter. So
I'm looking up Jedi Survivor now also because when you said like that, that's coming up next. But like listening to this, it makes me at least want to test it out just to see how it flows. I feel like it's a game that you can't just hop on and hop off when it comes to Monster Hunter. You gotta invest in time.
Yeah, Monster Hunter kind of is a lot more hardcore. It's one of those like hangout games. It's more of like a social game, and because it's like it's parties of 4, and like I'll get on and I'll hunt with my friends, and it's kind of one of those. And I don't know if I've ever talked about this on Table Cheese, but we always talk about this on Cheesy Controller of like the hangout spot game. Like when all of our friends get on, we're all getting on one game together, and
that's the hangout. That used to be Minecraft for us back in like the mid 2000s.
Yeah, so Minecraft on Xbox 360 was the hangout game.
That was the go-to
for me and one of my friends, like back when I was in high school. So, but
it's a good time. Like you just build some stuff, you hang out, you talk about whatever, and you just rip with your friends. It was definitely a good time.
Yeah, I mean that's
like,
kind of what
see Monster Hunter being that kind of game.
Yeah. It's a loot-based game. It's a RNG-based game. It's a grind-based game. So it has all those trappings of just get on with your friends and play for hours,
Or be a little bit challenging if you want to. Or like, straighten out your dexterity of yourself while you play this game. Yeah. No,
right. And that's the thing. Like, there have been like video essays about this where Monster Hunter, it's like you can run the same hunt with the same equipment against the same level of the same monster over and over again, and you'll get better and better times because you're just like passively learning the monster's patterns and like moves and weak points and like effective tactics, and you're just getting better and better at hunting as you play. Like, and that's the thing. So the hundreds of hours I've spent playing Monster Hunter, they'll just those skills don't go away. So
beat me to it. That's what I was about to say. Like, no matter what you said, like that isn't making for a good game. Like, no matter how you see a game, like if you can learn something through your everyday life from playing a game, like that's a making of a very good game.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I don't think anything I've learned in Monster Hunter has been proven useful in my everyday life, but it has in my Monster Hunter life, like the fact that I hunted Teostra in Monster Hunter World and in Generations Ultimate, so when Teostra was added to World, I already knew how to hunt a Teostra. And so
You don't. To take a break from like talking about Monster Hunter for 1 second. You don't think like that kind of training like sets you up for other things in your life that you may not understand, and like you take like the way you learn something and apply that to something else that happens to you.
well,
Like,
I mean, I don't. Maybe not Monster Hunter specifically. Definitely gaming in general. Okay. Gaming has made me detail-oriented. Gaming has made me like better at planning strategies. Better at like planning and allocating. Like gaming has a lot of positive attributes as far as like reading comprehension. Like it depends on like the so many levels of like gaming being with me in my life. Like there are so many words and so many phrases and so many like things that I first read in a video game, So
I get that. I'm pretty sure Last of Us like really took a toll on you in a different way emotionally. So I get it.
Right. But I mean, even the Last of Us had a lot of things that I was familiar with, but I'm trying to think on like the level of like a nuclear reactor, like just probably the first time I read the word schematics was in a video game. Like we got to get the schematics. Like we got to establish the satellite uplink. Like there are these things that it's like not everyday life are you gonna like be coming across somebody talking about establishing a satellite uplink, but it's common in gaming.
I'm that way with comics, so I get that completely.
Right.
100%. A lot of folks like first like hearing the multiverse was in a comic book movie. For me, it was in an actual comic book. So no, I get it completely.
Right. So yeah, but I don't. There are those kind of skills that you just get from gaming in general, but I feel like the specific skills that I attribute to Monster Hunter really apply and help me with more, because I played World and it was like, okay, there are a lot of these quality of life updates, and then I had to adjust going back to Generations Ultimate, but it was like, okay, I still understand how to hunt. It's just a lot of the stuff around the hunting that isn't as simple as it is in World, but we figured it out. And I mean, we played that entire game front to back, kind of as a unit,
Some teamwork fun that just throwaway. Yeah, the hangout time thing we were talking about before. No, I hear you.
Right? Because that's the thing. Everybody wants to hunt with good hunters. And over the years, I've become a very good hunter, so.
Like, it changes, like, your gaming experience the more you do. Like, you get, like, a different appreciation. The fact that they keep making new ones also with different expansions, like, familiar characters, like, it just keeps changing that experience for you as well. Like, my son keeps talking about, is it Minecraft Dungeon? He keeps talking about that game and how he wants to play it because, it's a new experience for Minecraft. Like, he's tired of the old Minecraft. He needs something new, so.
Dungeons is a new one, not Legends. The Minecraft spin-off games, so far, they haven't really hit with me. I know they just gave one out for free on PlayStation Plus, and I mean, I claimed it because I claim as many free games as I can. That's a pro tip for gamers.
Smart move. Oh, yeah. If you see a free game, even if it's like a good demo, check it out.
Claim as many free games as possible. If you have PlayStation Plus, it doesn't matter if you're never going to play the game. Just you're paying for PlayStation Plus, claim it.
Just let it sit inside your queue.
Right? Like, sit it in the library, sit in the backlog, like, and then maybe there's a reason. Like, so, moving on to Star Wars. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order was a game I got on, like, super sale. I want to say I spent, like, $10 on, like, the PS4 version. And then it had a free PS5 upgrade, and the PS4 version had a lot of technical problems. But then the PS5 version was actually really good. It's like kind of like a Dark Souls like third-person character action, but it's very Star Wars. Like you feel like you're a Jedi when you're playing as Cal in Jedi Fallen Order. And so the sequel, Jedi Survivor's coming out the same day Sunbreak's coming to PS5. So I'm going to wait, considering the first game. I mean, it's been given out free at this point. Like, if you had PlayStation Plus and you're claiming all your free games, you most likely have Jedi Fallen Order in your library. So I hear you. Like, we just spent how long? 20 minutes of me talking about Monster Hunter. So,
like I said, man, it's your birthday episode. You're talking about whatever the hell you want to talk about. And I'm just here to listen. So absolutely. But even this your birthday podcast episode, you were talking pretty highly before we recorded about how much you're really excited to play this game, Jedi Survivor. But,
well,
you're still gonna play Monster Hunter before you play this game.
Yeah, because I haven't finished the first one, and I feel like I moved it towards the front of the queue because I was enjoying the game. Whatever came around and pulled me off of it, like, I really enjoyed what I played of the first game, and so I have save data that's a few planets in on the game. So I think that, just moving it towards the front of the queue, actually having some motivation to play it, it could be something. I could probably balance that and Monster Hunter, because there's a period of time between Sunbreak coming out and the next Final Fantasy patch, which will add a bunch of new content.
And a lot of time to your gaming, for sure.
It's planning, and like, that's the thing. 2023 is turning out to just be like a landmark year in gaming. Like, we're going to look back in probably like 5 years and be like, 2023 was nuts. And I mean,
fun time for gaming. Yeah,
I'm trying to keep up, but there's also backlog stuff. Like, that's the thing. Jedi Survivor's coming out, and I do not want to play Jedi Survivor without beating Fallen Order. And I have Fallen Order, and I have... Oh man, Hi-Fi Rush! Hi-Fi Rush! I just had to miss the boat. Like, it'll be a Steam
like you
sale.
just gotta miss something.
Yeah, I can't even. There is absolutely not a slot in my gaming schedule right now to throw something like Hi-Fi Rush into the mix. Right, because brought up Final Fantasy 1 through 6, the Pixel remasters finally came to PlayStation. So now, installed on my PlayStation, as far as mainline Final Fantasies go, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, and 16 will preload the second it's available, because that's been pre-ordered.
So... Dude, I hear you, because I've seen the trailer for that. Like, they look crisp.
Like, did you watch the State of Play, the, 25-minute deep dive? Because it just really went super hard. I
saw the gameplay for 16, but I didn't get a chance to watch, for the first 6. I didn't get a chance to see that, what the intel was for that one there. But I did see, the play for 16, and they adding, as we talked about last episode, they're putting so much stuff into this game. It's hard to say no.
Yeah, I gotta really send you there's a video essay on Star Wars Jedi Survivor or Jedi Fallen Order that I think you'd really enjoy, and then I gotta send you the full 4K. I need you to watch this in the highest resolution possible with headphones on and just If you have a 4K screen at your disposal, I need you to do that, and I need you to either surround sound or headphones or something to get all of the audio and all the music and all just... If there's one 20-minute thing I get you to watch over the entire course of this, it's that Final Fantasy 16 State of Play in 4K.
That's not a normal request. Just for everyone listening, that's not a normal request you make to people in in 2023. So that's a big deal. I hear you.
Well, I mean, people recommend shows, people recommend movies.
Yeah, but they don't recommend like the best viewing quality for something like that. And like I'm taking this very serious. Like there's no shade in this. Like I hear you. That sounds like you're talking it up and I'm listening. You're talking
Yeah.
it up and I'm listening to it.
So, because it's just, you'll see why I've been so hyped and why, like, all roads lead back to Final Fantasy 16. I feel like everything so far has been kind of for the initiated. Like, they had a PAX panel that was kind of like, yeah, if you already know about Final Fantasy, you're going to be watching the PAX panel for 16.
Right.
But, like, the state of play was really their, like, hey, mainstream people, here. And it's just, like, it's gorgeous, it's hype, it's epic, it is, like, in a certain way, they're showing too much. But honestly, I've watched it 4 times, and there's stuff that even, like, I'm just going to omit from my memory when I start playing the game. Because there's going to be a whole different feeling of playing it and seeing it being played, you know?
You know, they talked about that in like their previous showing of 16 that they don't want to show too much to get too many spoilers away.
They've shown a lot. They've shown
and talked about like what a lot can do in this. And, like it's like they're really like laying out everything for everybody out there. And if you're a Final Fantasy fan, or like I think even an MMO fan, like this is probably something to really hop onto.
I'm gonna have to send it to you through Twitter because of the way I have the stream set up. I'm not trying to break the stream to send you a trailer.
We don't need that to happen.
Right.
We don't need that to happen at all because it's been a long week.
I mean, it would only momentarily break it, but you would have to edit it, and that's just one more edit I don't want you to have to do.
Because if you listen to last week's episode,
oh man, is it out?
You're rolling quite a few times. Yeah, it is out. Like I did not do my best quality with that one. I feel bad, but I did what I could.
Hey, yeah, like things had to come together, but you know.
You hear that you're rolling inside of it, like oh well, I gotta let it go. I didn't know it's until afterwards. I thought I cut it. I didn't cut it.
You know, it happens. Then.
So yeah. Hey, it's been 27 episodes. And one mess up ain't too bad. So there you go.
Right. You know, we've had multiple successful breaks. You know, one like awkward transition into a break.
like last week. That was fun. At least we we're at Raddick. He has a pause button. Thank goodness.
Right. It's very useful. The pause buttons that were deployed over last week, top tier.
That video's gonna drop. I gotta fix that video, and I gotta cut out the part that we paused it and use that as like a forgotten footage and drop it like in a year or two because we get into a lot of conversation like off camera with that episode.
Well, none of that was recorded. So it'll really it'll be a break because we paused it. That's what I said. We used our pause buttons effectively.
All right, then. There you go. I thought like you had a chance to turn it back on. I guess not. All right, let's scratch that, folks.
No, we restarted it after we came back, but like all the intermittent, none of that was recorded.
All the good stuff. You guys miss out on all the good sometimes. And it was a live episode at that.
Right? Okay, so while we were on Final Fantasy before we got into the audio quality of last week, the editing. Final Fantasy, the 1 through 6 pixel remasters are out, and I think this is really going to be my chance of like go in and play 1 through 6 because I haven't beat any of them. I've played very little of 1, 2, and 3. I've played a good amount of 4, almost no 5, and like only the beginning of 6. So this is kind of a blind spot for me, but a lot of the things in Final Fantasy XIV are direct references to these games. So I'm excited to go
How are you gonna
in.
play it?
Hmm.
How are you gonna play it? Are you like just gonna walk right through it, just like go through it? Or are you like gonna like try to take it all in? You like how you gonna play these games?
It depends. It seems like a completionist playthrough for like Final Fantasy One's like 20 hours, which isn't terrible. So I
Too
might
bad.
get the platinum in that, but like as the games progress further and further, is the more and more time they're going to take. So I'll have to weigh it out of like, do I just want to beat this? Do I? But Final Fantasy One, at the very least, like I've seen people on my timeline platinum it, so I'm like, yeah, if it's that easy of a platinum that it's only been out for like what, 2 days and people are already platinuming the first one, I'm definitely gonna put some effort and some energy towards that.
I'm gonna I'm gonna set in my calendar to ask Anton if he's playing one through six. I got an alarm, got everything set up. Ask Anton on December 1st of this year if he's still playing Final Fantasy 1 through 6, because I feel like this is going to be an all year thing for you.
Yeah,
Like
I
even when
mean,
16 comes out, even when other games coming out, I feel like this is gonna be that game. Like it's gonna be like my Marvel Snap, like that one game you go back to where you don't want to get bogged down with anything else. You just want to play a game to get off. I feel like you can be playing this until late December. I feel like
I
if you stick to
mean,
it, that's what's gonna happen.
if I stick to it, I can be done with it in the next like month. Like if all I did was
Wow,
play Final Fantasy 1 through 6, I could probably be
well, who
done.
has the time for that?
Well, no, I mean
I
like
really.
just with the amount of time that I spend between 14 and just like miscellaneous other things. If I were to dedicate all of that time towards Final Fantasy, time I'm already spending gaming on like on those pixel remasters, I'd definitely be able to do it.
Yeah, but you got, like I said, you got a ton of other games coming out. You got like a lot of stuff you
Right.
want to be playing, like down the
Yep.
pike. You got like all your obligations and whatnot in real life.
Right.
It's I definitely think December we're gonna come back to this, and you're still playing some of these games.
Oh yeah,
And I'm
definitely.
excited to have this
That's
conversation. I'm excited to have this conversation.
yeah. I mean, and the more I play, is the more I'll start to understand some of these references because
Mm-hmm.
so far 14 hasn't really had many 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12, like pretty much all the other Final Fantasy games. There are minor references, but there are entire like bosses, areas, storylines that are just like ripped directly from these older games. Like I know Endwalker is heavily based in Final Fantasy 4. So,
And the devs played these games, like that's why you see them in all these newer games. Yeah, no, I get you. Huh? That's gonna be an experience. Like for a gamer like yourself, that's gonna be one hell of an experience to see all that and like see it transition to all the other games, and maybe somebody even like the other SquareSoft or Square Enix properties.
oh yeah,
Squaresoft.
definitely. Or Squaresoft. Square
Oh
Enix.
God, show my age, right? Good God.
They haven't been Squaresoft since the 90s, G.
Right? My goodness. It's been a very long time since it's been Squaresoft. I'm still calling it that. I'm ready for the last story, though, dude. I got my notes ready. There's so much stuff to talk about with this. It looks. Oh, I'm gonna wait. Wait for let you do your thing.
I mean,
Let
yeah,
you shine the glory.
we can get into it, man. Street Fighter 6.
You sure?
Yeah. Street Fighter 6. So I sent you the full showcase of.
I watched like maybe the first 12 minutes of this, and dude, I was like just writing stuff down because like every single scene was something incredible.
It was like a really jam-packed showcase with a lot of information. You got to find a way, man. You got to find a way to play the Street Fighter 6 demo.
I gotta Like, I gotta find a way to play this. Like, at least that damn demo that I saw. Because I saw, like some Neo Geo, like Fatal Fury. Like, Axel can be dropped into this. I saw that fucking Jujutsu Kaisen can be dropped into, like, to a game like this. Like, the characters from Jujutsu Kaisen. I can see them
In the
playing in a game
character
like
creator?
this. Dude, could you not? Like, let's be real. Could you not see that?
Yeah, earlier on Cheesy Controller, that's why I haven't played the demo yet. Because the character creator in Street Fighter 6 might be a little bit too much of a character creator. Like, it might be...
You gotta see it.
They might have gone a little too hard with it.
Chris, this character builder is crisp. My God, yes.
And I mean, you know, I love a good character creator. I love people to be able to express their creativity. You know, a lot of times, like, I really might just have Angelina come in here and make me because,
like, you doing it yourself, like, you make yourself a god, like you just would. Like, I mean, like, that's period. That's all there is to it. You make yourself like a god, and like no one can stop you.
Well. So, like, my default is making female characters. So, I would make, like, a female character that looks like a character that I'd want to be the female protagonist in whatever game I'm playing. So, that would be my default if I'm going into a character creator, is I'm making a female character. But, like, if I want... Street Fighter seems like the type of game where I'd want Angelina to make me, because I've had her make me in FIFA, I've had her make me in Monster Hunter, I've had her make me, and I'll just sit here and she'll like look back and forth to the screen and be like, that's not right, I gotta fix that, like, how do I change this? And I'm like, oh, you go back and she's done this for a bunch of games, so I think Street Fighter might be the game, but I'm not necessarily sure I want to like invest that kind of time and like set off time for her to have the appropriate amount of time to do that well with the demo.
Unless you use it for content, I say, yeah, that'd be too much stuff to do. But if you use it for content on Cheesy Controller, I am here to watch a montage of that. I'm not kidding you. Like, I would like to see like a montage and see like the finished result of that character. I'm 100% here for that. Like, no joke. That sounds like something. Like, we've all done it. People in relationships. Like, you had, like, someone, like, create a character for you. And I wouldn't mind seeing, like, with the Street Fighter, like, character engine. Whoo, gorgeous. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing what that looks like. You know, seeing, like, Anton Sixxx Street Fighter character created by, like, his wife. That sounds very interesting, dude.
Right. Because Capcom, when they have character creators, their character creators are pretty decent overall.
Yeah.
So, even in Monster Hunter. So, she made my character in Monster Hunter World on PS4. And my character in Monster Hunter Rise on PS5. So, both of those characters actually look like me because she made both of them. But whereas on Switch, like, I made my Generations Ultimate character, I made my Rise character on Switch, and all of those have been females. So...
Yeah. You see, like, and, like, here's the other cool thing about it. Like, there's a lot of cool, like, parts to this game. Like, the game starts out with a world tour mode, and you get to play in Metro City.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to create your character, and like you get like Luke the Trainer, you get like Bosch, your rival. But the really cool part about this is that it's like the fighting gauge. So when this character of you is created, or you create a character yourself, you get just to walk around the city of Metro City and just like ask the character you create. Like, you just get into battles and shit. Like,
fight pretty much anybody.
Just nuts. And like the game also has like a lot more feature to it, like the food and the clothes that you wear also raises your attributes. So like you can get like strength, you can get energy from the food you eat, like food trucks, restaurants, or the clothes that you wear. So like if you're a little bit narcissist and you play this game, like you may have some hard time turning it off, because like you would get fixated on this character of yours. Like, and as we said before, they're gorgeous. Like, all of them are absolutely like just stunning.
There are some monstrosities that have been made, D. I don't know where, as far as like, yes, the character creator does have a lot of potential of making some really incredible creations, but it also has some things that never should have been made and are begging to be destroyed.
Don't tell me you're
No.
talking about the boss.
Oh no.
Okay.
Let's Street Fighter 6 character monsters.
Oh no. So now I gotta check this out too. Like I'm sure most of you guys just heard like the things he just typed out there, and now I gotta look it up also now, like dreading.
Right, here we go. Street Fighter 6's character creator is unhinged on Games Radar. I'm gonna have to shoot this over to you on Twitter, so you can just see.
You can really morph these characters. Because I forgot about a character like Dulcine. Oh my goodness, I forgot about characters like Dulcine. You can just go bonkers with these characters. And Blanca, jeez, I didn't even think about that. People gotta use stuff for evil, don't they? Always gotta be about evil. These characters are wicked. Like I wouldn't want to fight against these characters. I'm not lying.
Right. So I'm like, it has a lot of. You thought no, I'm not talking about anything that looks remotely human. I'm talking about these monstrosities that are actually monstrosities. The abominations that come out of the
abominations. That's a great way to put it. These abominations. And like the really other cool thing is like when you play this game, you can play against like all the legendary characters like Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li. Like you can play against these characters or fight with the characters and get something called their master action, which is like their standard fighting moves. So you can do like the E Honda headbutt, you can do like the Chun-Li spinning kick, Hadouken from Ryu and Ken. You can do all those things, but you're still like the character that you created. And like after seeing what Anton just sent me.
Right.
A little disturbing.
Right.
A little disturbing.
Mm-hmm. It's going to get real bad real fast. Like, it's already been bad.
It's going to light up.
In the beta, people had access to this character creator. And in the beta, I just kind of, like, went with whatever. Like, I just kind of picked one of the preset characters and kept going. But in the final game, I'm going to want to actually make a character that... I'm not going to make a monstrosity. I'm going to use the character creator for good.
Good. I appreciate that. That warms my heart to hear that, because if you make one of these like these abominations, like, oh my goodness, I couldn't. No, we had to have a nice long conversation. Like, hey man, what the hell you make that
for the memes? You know,
you got to delete it for the memes. Good answer. Good answer. You know? I like that.
Let's say I, rise up the ranks of Street Fighter players, and I'm using my creative character, and a clip of me goes viral, and I'm playing as an abomination. That has to become part of the brand at that point.
Oh my God! Can you see that like on banners, on cheesy controller banners?
Right.
An abomination type character. One of the characters you're looking at right now, as you're looking up these abominations. Beautiful.
Right. I'm scrolling through, just like some of just the insane ones that are. Yeah.
Thankfully, he hasn't sent me any of these yet, so I don't know. It's
because
he's looking at.
The way I have this stream, yeah.
You're good. But I will make sure he send a link to me so I can put at least one or two of these in the show notes for you.
Oh, well, I sent an article to you on Twitter that at least has two good ones. You just have to click see more on the tweets, and that has two really good examples. One of them's kind of phallic, so like if you need to put a little bit of a blur effect on it.
The hell did you just say? Is what? All right.
I mean...
All right. Street Fighter went. All right.
Check your DMs on Twitter, but not like that.
Not like... I'm sorry. You fucking just broke me, dude. It's got too meta inside of here. Ah, crap. There they are, just sitting there looking at me. 3 minutes ago sent. Just looking at sent the link.
Here, I'll send you this one, and that should tell you everything you need to know.
Here we go. Let's brace ourselves. Oh, man. Who knew that 20 some episodes ago, I'll be having conversations about dick-shaped characters on Street Fighter. Who knew? Who knew I'd be having conversations about this? I didn't know that.
I mean, they show up anytime there's a character creator On the level of Street Fighter's character creator, this is what you're going to get. It's part of the culture of the internet, man. You know.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. As odd as it is to hear you say that, you're not wrong.
Right,
See,
and I'll just send you another one of these just so you have it available for the show notes.
And now, see, now just like you just fuck with me.
Oh no, refresh your DMs. You'll see them.
I see it. 6 seconds sent. I see it. I'm not opening it. Not while I'm live. Not happening. I'm talking about it after the show. God. He's hosting. This is why I gotta host next episode. This is exactly why.
Balance.
Balance. Exactly. See, now I really gotta play this damn game. And like I'm getting settled where I'm living right now, and like I want to play more games with my kids. And I don't know about you. Like, Mortal Kombat was like one of my first arcade games, but one of the first console games I ever played was Street Fighter. And next to Mario, Street Fighter is a top tier game in my eyes, man. Like,
I mean, Street Fighter is a historic landmark franchise. So
yeah, and like it's a fighting game, but I still think like it's a pretty family friendly fighting game. It has like a lot of like wholesome tropes inside of it at times.
Yeah, and it's the World Warriors. Like it shows,
exactly.
It is very cartoony, but like in a good way. Yeah,
I like that. Yeah, like it's not like Tekken. Tekken is very Xbox edgy kind of feel
grounded,
to it. And Mortal Kombat,
like realistic, and
consequences and shit like that. Yeah,
right.
And Mortal Kombat, that is straight up mature. Bar none.
Yeah.
Just straight up mature.
I mean, the rating system that we have in the U.S. happened because of Mortal Kombat. So.
Because of Mortal Kombat. Exactly.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And like Street Fighter, like always been like that good middle ground. And like I'm really excited to play this game. And seeing the graphics the way it looks, seeing like the character creation the way it looks, like knowing that it has like a RPG kind of feel to it, like where you can like upgrade your character, you can like change your stats, all that kind of stuff. Like that sounds like fun. It sounds welcoming. It's something like what you're going to be doing with Final Fantasy 1 through 6. It's something that I can get myself into. Like hop on, play it for a bit, level my character, hop on, play something else. Like it's something like it's the same kind of like gamer vibe that you can get yourself immersed in without putting too much of yourself inside of it. And like I really want to see what this looks like with Street Fighter. I really do.
Okay. Well, you got anything else you want to talk about?
Your birthday's coming up, and there's a party going to be going down, and I have no idea how this is going to look or play out. Like Korean barbecue, getting like Korean food that was inspired by black soldiers. Like, like this sounds like a fun time. So,
you've never had Korean barbecue before?
Oh yeah, I have had Korean barbecue. I just said to my wife recently, like you know what, getting like some Korean food that was inspired by black people, like hell yeah, man, I'm here for that. And to tell her the history about how Korean barbecue was founded, and like 30, like all you can eat, get some booze, celebrate someone who's very close birthday, hell yeah, a lot of checks on this. This is like a good time, man. It's gonna be a fun time.
One of the grills, as a warning, is just going to be dedicated to steak. So I'm just going to be cooking, cutting up, eating, and like distributing steak pretty much the entire time from one of the grills. So
do your thing, have fun, and like get me full. That's all that matters.
Oh yeah,
I get me full. Like I want some rice, I want some beef.
You want these noodles? You're gonna want some kimchi,
right.
like.
You know my guy. You get it.
Oh, yeah. We're going there to eat, and eat we shall.
I'm going to take some pictures, too, so make sure you check the story for FT on Nerd Talk. I'm going to be posting down there on Twitter. It's going to be a fun time. And I also get to play Roblox with my kid this weekend. All three of my kids, from ages 5 to 12, we played some Roblox, and they all enjoyed themselves. It was, like, literally probably the most fun I've had in a very long time with all my kids. We went to a server called Brookhaven. If you're a Roblox player, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to Brookhaven. And we just ran amok. like crash people houses, do cars in the pools. It was a whack. It's like GTA but light. It's a very fun time. They even got some guns that are like harmless inside this game. And like I don't really like my kids play with guns, but like you know what? Like it's like a pop gun. Like it's nothing. And like there was no threat of them playing with a fake toy gun inside this world. Like it just felt really fun to be there, hanging out with them. They worked on my character because I wasn't like traditional Roblox. I did like the anime We Fit style type character that you get inside there. Like I was talking about like, hey, why do you keep like being this character? Like why don't you be like a character like the blocky character like that most Roblox characters are? Because they're not gonna let you inside your house if you look like that. Like all right, that's bias, son. But all right, I guess I'll switch my character up just a little bit for you. Sure enough, he was right. Like I got more interest like being like a Roblox character than being.
What were you playing on? Like how?
Tablets and cell phones. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. Roblox is so foreign to me. Like I see clips. I would never really understand fully what I'm looking at. I've watched streams. Like no two things in Roblox look the same, but all look the same at the same time.
Agreed.
So, and like the more I understand is the more confusing it gets, and there has to be like event horizon of me like understanding Roblox. But like I know it's not even on PlayStation,
No,
and I'm probably not gonna fall down that rabbit hole with my phone.
If you ever get a kid, you may change your tune. That's all I'm saying to you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against it. Like, there are things like Genshin Impact, Fortnite, Call of Duty, like these really big things that I just like. I want to understand why they're so big because things don't get that big without having something special about them.
Got a following, yeah. No, it's activity based. Like you can like run activity. They got courses like you see on those GTA servers. They can do like courses
right, and
like
then
that.
you keep bringing up GTA, and I'm like, most of the things I have seen have like I can't conceptualize as how it is GTA like.
It's a sandbox. It's a giant sandbox of a game. Like you can do whatever you set your mind to. You can go flying somewhere. You can get like a flying carpet. You can get like a jet powered skateboard if you wanted to. Whatever you set your mind to in this game, you can absolutely do it.
That's crazy.
Magical wands, teleportation. Yeah, dude. Like whatever you want to do, you can make cities in the sky if you wanted to. Just like hang out inside of it. It's nuts. So yeah, if you have kids, you already know what I'm talking about. If you don't have any kids, you haven't played Roblox. It's a trippy game. It really is. But you can spend a lot of time on it, and it is a powerful engine because that damn thing will heat up your phone, and it will slow down your memory. Like it will slow you down big time. So if you are gonna play this, make sure you got a very powerful device to play this on because it will lag you. Like,
and it's not on Steam because I was like, maybe I could check it out on my Steam Deck.
Insane, isn't it? Isn't that nuts?
It's just nowhere where it's accessible.
It makes a lot of money a year. Like as much money that Fortnite make, I think Roblox makes just as much.
I think Roblox honestly makes more, and that's like the thing.
Insane, dude. 2.25 billion. That's how much they made last year. The December quarterly for Roblox. And let me see what Fortnite was. See, this is like the nerd, and I was like getting like into like the politics of all of this. And like I love doing this. I shouldn't do it. It's like it's perpetuating capitalism, but like this is.
I mean, I'm over here perpetuating capitalism because I'm looking at what these pre-order bonuses are for Jedi Survivor. Even though I know I'm not going to pre-order it, I'm just looking to see.
But you're humoring it. Here we go. I found it for last year. Last year, Fortnite made 5.8 billion last year, so it made 3 billion more in Roblox, but like that's 3 billion more dollars that Fortnite made more than Roblox, and Roblox made 2.2 billion. Like the hell? So yeah, Dude, this
But I mean,
game,
I understand how Fortnite makes that money, so.
mm-hmm. It's insane. It's insane. So like they made $22 an hour. That can't be right. I gotta reread that. I'm reading this wrong. And that is my alarm telling me, hey, it is 12:15. If you don't set random times on your phone throughout the day, you're failing. So there you go.
I can't
Time is a
do it.
concept. No?
No, I can't. Like, I mean, I have such a rigid schedule with like during the week with work. Like, have I don't. The only thing I will set timers, like I'll set timers for like if I'm cooking something or like if something's in the oven, whatever. I'll set timers for that so I can walk away and come back and not burn whatever I'm making.
But not random alarms?
No, like I only use
Wow.
like actual alarms to wake up in the morning.
See, I look at time as a concept. Like I literally like only see time as a concept. Like it's not a real thing in my eyes, and I've accepted that to myself. So
I mean, time is part of your heads-up display on life. Like that's the thing. It is just a concept, and it's man-made. But
it is man-made.
If you really think about it deep down, I guess we're gonna do this because it's 12.
Let's
16.
do it. Happy birthday, buddy. Let's do this.
Oh wait, no, it's not my birthday's Tuesday.
Oh, but like I'm gonna drop this on your birthday, so everyone who's listening to this. So.
Well, yeah. So time is part of your heads-up display on life. I wear a watch everywhere. Time's on your phone. Time is in the corner when I'm playing Final Fantasy. Time is in the corner when I'm on my computer. Time is on my dashboard in my car.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like the actual physical numbers of.
Oh, the numbers of time. Gotcha.
Yeah. So like, I won't need to set an alarm for 3:00, especially if I'm looking forward to 3:00, because
Here's the funny part about that when it comes to me. Like I got rid of all those. Like I don't wear watches. I have no technology on my body except for my phone. And when my phone is on me, there's no technology on me whatsoever. I don't have clocks inside my room because I don't need it. So like it took me a while to get to that point of just like destroying all of that. So like the only time like I can tell what time it is with my 12:15 a.m., my 3:55, 3:55 a.m., 3:55 p.m. and 11:15 a.m. Those are the only ways I know what time it is. Nothing else can tell me what time it is. Like I usually have no idea. Nuts, right?
That's I
bonkers,
couldn't do that. For me, like planning out time for things, like I have to be relatively aware of what time it is at all times.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was playing Final Fantasy before I talked to you, and I had just gotten up to make a snack, and you texted me, and I was like, oh, shit. That's what happens when I lose track of time. It's like, well, I had something to do, so let's speed up what I'm doing right now, and let's get to it.
Like, I got to my work. I looked at my phone just to look at what time it is. It's like, because I had to know. It's like, oh, shit, I should probably hit up Anton. Like, it's getting about that time, yeah. So that's why I'm late to a lot of things. It's because of that reason. I know. But, like, I spent a big chunk of my first 20 working years worrying about time, and I can't spend the next 20 worrying about it. I just can't. I cannot. It's too much. It's taxing. So there you go. A little insight of how I see the world and time and concepts. A lot of things are concepts that I just do not give much attention to. But that's how I see time. And people listen to this. I know that. I know people listen to these podcasts and like because they hit me up in the DM sometimes, or like in the comments, or on YouTube, in the comments there, and like they let me know that they listen to us talk when we're talking.
Hey man.
There you go.
It's the conversational podcast. Like a lot,
it is.
That's the thing. Like a lot of your shows, it'll be just you, and you'll have other segments with just other individual people. But this is a podcast where you get to like have a conversation and like bounce ideas back and forth. So I feel like that's one of the strong aspects of Table Cheese.
Yeah, and bouncing stuff off you, like you're a good perspective kind of person. Like you got like your way of thinking about stuff, but like you're always open to hearing other things, and I can always appreciate about you. So again, I know today isn't technically your birthday, but it is gonna be dropping. Happy birthday, dude! Like it's always fun hanging out with you. It's never a dull moment hanging out with you. That is for damn sure. And you seem to be a guy who's always up for absolutely anything, and like that is something I'm 100% for.
You know, trying to be optimistic, trying to because
I feel it.
a lot of the positive things, like a lot of the positive experiences that I've had in my life have just come simply from putting myself out there. So
Mm-hmm. Same thing with that movie Yes Man from Jim Carrey. I know I said that. But that's what I think about when I think just say yes. Say no to everything. Just say yes. You think about saying no? Say yes. Give it a shot. See what it's like.
now, if there's something that needs to have a no said to it, I will not hesitate to say no.
I would hope so. But yes, this is just a good practice to saying no. That's kind of also how I see it. So
Yeah,
I hear you completely on that too.
There has to be a balance. You can't just be a yes man.
The Jedi taught us well with that one, my friend. Yeah, you gotta have that balance in the Force. You can't just be Sith running around, slicing heads off whenever you want to.
All right. Well, I think that's about it. We've gone over an hour. I was not expecting to go this long, but we tend to go.
Episode?
We tend to go longer than I expect to go every time we do this. So I'll be like, oh yeah, we'll probably be like 30 minutes. Come back. It's been an hour.
Yeah, talking about Monster Hunter, fucking Survivor, talking about Street Fighter. And Final Fantasy got like a little sleep inside of here again. Final Fantasy is like all over the show. That and Monster Hunter. Anton, you took over Table Cheese. Like you made it all. You threw some Monster Hunter cards inside the mix. Some Final Fantasy just keep getting shuffled inside of it every so often.
I mean, it's because Square Enix and Capcom are giving me what I want.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they are. And like we were talking about Mega Man like last episode. So yeah, no. How'd that go, by the way? Did you ever get any back about that?
Didn't.
No.
But I mean, a lot of people entered it. Like I just entered 2 different giveaways to try and get a copy of Jedi Survivor. But
Thank you, trying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Put myself out there. Hope for the best.
I hear you. I feel it. I like it.
Okay. Well, remember, people, you can follow me around the internet at Anton Sixxx with 3 X's. CheesyControllerPodcast.com. Check us out on Spotify. Instagram. I'm still deciding what I'm going to do with Instagram because I still want to kind of
have fun with it.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to take a different approach than I've been taking because like I had an original approach that worked in some ways, didn't work in some ways. I have my new approach, relatively new approach that I've been doing that's worked in some ways, hasn't worked in other ways. So it's just kind of a matter of, at this point, saying, how do I want to handle this,
Okay.
So.
You're taking like kind of a Twitter approach, I see, like to your stories on there. I like it. It kept me, I didn't know about Controllerize until you posted it in your story, so I like it.
Oh yeah, that was kind of a news wave. Like those in the know knew,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm telling you, D, buy a ticket.
Monday.
They're gonna sell out.
Just put FTO faces there. It's like that's all I gotta do. I hear you.
Oh, you will definitely meet when I tell you some of the networking I did I literally got jobs out of Controllerize, like in the gaming space. Like,
I should get a ticket.
Yeah.
22nd, my wife will be back by then. I'll be a little bit more stable.
Some of the most highly recommended people in the city of Atlanta, from my point of view, will be at this event. So,
all right. Well, I'm glad you didn't go Super Saiyan AF with the outro like you did with the intro. But I'm D of FTO Nerd Talk. Find me wherever you find FTO Nerd Talk. April Reno's almost over, and I didn't get too invested this year. I didn't. Like it had nothing to do with the name, had nothing to do with like with the contestants. I got sick. I feel like I had COVID, and like I was just exhausted. So like I'm still putting them out there. We got 2 more battles left. if you participated, I appreciate it. But like it was a weak battle royale this year, and I apologize for that. Maybe next year will be better.
Yeah, we'll put, maybe you could reach out to your collaborators, get us to throw in some characters, do it just be like.
Yeah, I'll go gaming next year.
Oh yeah, gaming.
Yeah.
IGN does like a March Madness bracket with like gaming characters sometimes, and yeah, it's savage.
See, that might be my go. That may be my go too. I try not using madness this year because a lot of people in my circles who are a part of like the mental disorder and like the mental illness, so like using madness really triggers them. So I had to stop using madness, which I had no problem with. Just that's why it's April Arena. Like I figured I'd switch it up, change it up a little bit, put it out there, like put it in a positive way.
You could do an August Arena.
Hey, I may be more inclined to do it then too, because my kids be switching to a different school. So that's not a bad idea. Be a little bit more relaxed.
Right.
All of my kids will be in school then. All of them. Whew, that's a conversation for a different show. But yeah, FTO Nerd Talk. Where we find FTO Nerd Talk. We got a little dad emotional there. All right.
All right. Until next time, keep it cheesy.
And take it easy. Hey guys, D here of FTO Nerd Talk. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends about FTO Nerd Talk. Got a lot of different shows for all of you. Make sure you tune in every week for a brand new episode. Take it easy.